everybody. This is Mark St. Marcus, blogger for BJJ Life Brand. Today we will shortly be discussing how more celebrities are taking to the BJJ life. Today we have TV celebrity personal trainer and BJJ Blue Belt, as well as one of the stars of the 90s hit show Baywatch, Jeremy Jackson, who's a California-based actor who is also taken to the BJJ life. And welcome.
Thanks, man. It's great to be here. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you. Hey, so just to start us off, how did you get involved in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? Like, how'd this happen?
I'd always wanted to do it. I've been boxing and doing Muay Thai, Savate, different forms of stand up on and off for many years, maybe 10 years now. And I always wanted to do Jiu Jitsu, but it looked so complicated. I just knew there were so many moves, and everybody I was going to roll against was going to be better than me. And I was, I'm the kind of guy, I don't really enjoy doing things I suck at, so I just put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off. And, as I got older, I was like, man, this might never happen. I could have had years of experience by now, but I've been putting it off because I'm scared, And then one day, a nutritional supplement company, Visalis, they came to me, the Body by Vi challenge, and the owner of the company, he said, hey, we're going to do this challenge, and we're going to do this big group challenge. We're going to put it all over the internet. We're going to make a really big deal out of it, and what do you want to do? And lo and behold, him and I had the exact same idea. This guy's name was Blake Mallon. He's a guru businessman, multimillionaire, young guy, cool guy, good friend of mine. And we both had always wanted to do jiu-jitsu, but never did. So we did this 90-day challenge that was internationally, promoted, videotaped, and filmed all the way through. And the challenge was to train for 90 days straight and then enter our first jiu-jitsu tournament. And we had over, I think, 50 people that joined the challenge with us. They all did it.
That's awesome. So that kind of leads me into my second question. But just to take a step back, you said that you had seen it, but I mean, what was the first influence? I mean, did you see a Karate Kid movie, and that spawned your love for martial arts, Jean-Claude Van Damme? How did it lead to BJJ?
I've been a UFC fan for a long time. I can remember when I was probably 12 years old, and David Hasselhoff would come to the set of Baywatch, and he'd have a VHS tape. And he'd be like, yeah, Jeremy, come in my trailer, check this out. And he'd put it in. It was like Tank Abbott fights. And I was like, whoa, that stuff's crazy. That stuff's hardcore. But, I was a fan ever since then. So I've been watching UFC for a long time. And, of course, saw the big influence with jiu-jitsu there and saw the little guys winning. And, all these moves. You hear these crazy words, the guillotines and the omoplatas. And you're like, what is that? I could probably never remember all that stuff. So I was definitely timid, It seemed like a big bite to chew.
So do you think, did you choose this BJJ life, or did it choose you?
That's a tough one. It's kind of both. At first I chose it, and I didn't like it. I got to be honest. I trained for 3 months straight, and I did not love it. I was not winning. I was not beating people. I was not learning fast enough, in my opinion. I didn't feel like I was doing good enough. And, I did this tournament. And honestly, the adrenaline from the tournament, that fear, that willingness to survive, that desire to win, that sparked something in me. My very first tournament I lost, and some of my friends won, and a lot of these guys, I felt like I was better than them. These are guys that when I was rolling with them, I would beat them continually, but they went to the tournament, they won, and I lost. And I thought to myself, I'm not going out like that. This is not going to be my last jiu-jitsu fight. I'm going to keep doing this. And I'm really, really glad I did. Because if I wouldn't have lost that first fight, I'm not sure I would have continued. I might have just walked away as a white belt thinking, that's cool. Yeah, I tried this. I won. That's cool.
Yeah. So that loss actually helped spark the flame.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Okay.
I've had, the losses that I've had have, I've gained much more from than all of the wins.
It's kind of funny how we really, really hate to lose. Like, absolutely hate it. But there's so many more times where you have a huge learning experience from it. And even just the art of losing, you can actually benefit so much. I had something last night where one person had showed up to practice thinking, oh, this is going to be a really silly practice. And before I knew it, like, I don't know, if like 6, 7 more people came in, and it was crazy, and I got my ass handed to me. And last night, kind of after the whole thing, I was just felt like kind of like shit, you know? But then today, I feel great. It's like going out and surfing and just getting slammed by a big wave, and then a smaller one comes, and you're like, I got this, you know?
I totally hear you. You know, I've always tended to learn things in life the hard way. You know, it takes me a few times of making the wrong choice until I finally remember to always make the right choice, or the right thing to do, the more effective thing to do. So the more we do things wrong, the more we get beat up, the more we lose. You know, the closer we are to not losing.
So let's keep the ball rolling here. If this is a funny one. And if you could roll with anyone in the world, who would it be? A past bully, a BJJ black belt, your grandmother?
I don't know. That's a really tough one. You know, if I could roll with anybody in the world, it would be a mugger. A mugger who tried to rob me, who doesn't know that I know Jiu Jitsu. That would be a really fun thing.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, double leg takedown, right?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just drop them. Because, you know what's really cool is that you have great judo, and which leads me to a question that John from my gym wanted me to ask you is if you're a guard puller or do you pass guard. But to me, I definitely know that you taught me very great foot sweeps, and I was going back and forth in training last night. So how's your judo coming into your game too?
You know, definitely. I'm very lucky. My coach, Marcus Vinicius de Lucia at Beverly Hills Jiu Jitsu Club, is also a judo black belt. Judo is his background. Right. You know, when he came into Jiu Jitsu, he was immediately handed his blue belt on his first day after rolling because, you know, he got his Jiu Jitsu blue belt because his judo was so strong. He basically had the Kimuras, and he basically had all the takedowns, and he understood all that stuff. So I definitely am a top player. You know, I definitely like to drive the fight. I like to get the takedown. I like to get past the guards. You know, I have a couple sweeps that I feel more comfortable with than others that are usually go-to moves. If I get caught in a scramble, I'm not panicked off my back. I don't, choose to be on my back, but if I have to, I definitely will. And I have some sweeps and submissions that are effective for me from there. But normally, I want to get back on top and get back in control.
Let's talk about the whole celebrity aspect, which is how BJJ is a common man's or a poor man's fight game, and how is this a huge hit with so many celebrities? Let me list off a couple of people here in my research. Nicolas Cage, Jim Carrey, Michael Clark Duncan, Mel Gibson, Ed O'Neill is a Gracie black belt, Vin Diesel, Paul Walker was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, and I just found out Kid Rock even trains. So what's going on? Why are these celebrities hitting up the common man's game?
That's super cool. I think you said it. It's the common man's game, quote unquote. It's it's bare bones. It's very primal and raw. All you have is your head and your body. There's no toys. There's no forms like some martial arts. It's your intellect and your will to survive and your mental acuity, and that's probably what it is. There's no frills, there's no show. It's all go.
Is the fact that maybe not all celebrities knew that they were going to even be celebrities. They were just obviously still are normal people thrusted into this, like, you know, this whole celebrity status.
Mm-hmm.
And they never changed.
I have, an even deeper, reason for that. A lot of celebrities are also fall into addiction, because it's nothing to do with being a celebrity. It has to do with being an extremist or a A-type personality. Those people that are performers who are gifted with talent and passion to be seen, heard, appreciated, applauded. Those singers, those artists. Really, it's an artist, and being an artist goes hand in hand with having a lot of other issues. Being an extremist, needing acceptance. The thrill of performing, the high from an applaud from an audience, and jiu-jitsu gives you that. It gives you that high, it gives you that release, and it gives you that extreme thing. So I think it's really effective for addicts and people in recovery, people trying to overcome stuff, or people who are not getting what they need in life as far as like love or appreciation or accolades, or if you're not being appreciated by your lover or your mother or whatever it is, you're lacking something in your life. Jiu-jitsu can fill that hole.
It definitely has addicting qualities. It's like maybe possibly just trading one addiction for another, in a way.
Much healthier one too.
Yeah, definitely. You have suffered an injury recently in a past event. Just tell me more about that. I mean, you busted your leg.
Yes. So just under a month ago, I was totally warm, feeling great. The mat coordinator called my name, called my opponent's name. We walked up, gave him the IDs. I was literally standing there, warm, sweaty, ready to fight. I grabbed the yellow barricade, the fence that's up around the mat, and I started doing some judo throws, throwing my leg up behind me, my head down, and standing on one leg. And I did it on my left leg, and then I did it on my right leg. And when I did it on my right leg, I must have done it too hard, too deep. I think I stretched too much the day before. I got a massage the day before I stretched, and I did an Epsom salt bath. Like, I was really loose, dude. Like, I was more flexible than I've ever been, and really loose and soft. And I think I was too stretched, and I tore my hamstring. Like, it straight tore. Not the whole thing, but there's tears in it. So my hamstring was black and blue. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't bend my knee. It was cramping so bad. It was totally, totally cramped, like the worst cramp you've ever had. So I was like really nervous. My opponent was going to notice that I was injured, So I hobbled over to the medics and I had them look at it. And then I talked to my coach, and they said, "Hey, are you going to fight, or do you want to do you want to call it?" So I decided to fight with the torn hamstring. I won my first fight. I believe it was something like 2 points, 3 advantages to 0. And I was winning then in my second fight, I was winning again. We're talking about like a lot of pain, man. I had to keep my right leg totally straight. I couldn't bend it. I couldn't reach down. I couldn't even touch my right hand to my right knee, because if I used my hamstring at all, it was debilitating. So I was winning my second fight. I only had 26 seconds left to go. I had just swept my opponent. We went out of bounds. The referee stood us up, took us to the middle of the mat. With 26 seconds left to go, all I had to do was avoid this guy's takedown.
Yeah.
And, I was faced with the decision to avoid his takedown with a bad leg, or try to fake him out like I was going to take him down. So I tried a couple of little peekaboos I told you about. I was throwing my hands in his face because I wanted him to think I was going to take him down, which was a bad call. And, he got me in a single leg, and I'm hopping on my bad leg. And then he tried to do, what he thought was a sweep, and he basically just kicked my knee. And because my hamstring was locked up, my knee was really, really loose, and my knee dislocated, and my leg popped, and I was just on the mat screaming. And I thought my leg was broken. It hurt really, really bad, but luckily the medic popped my knee back into place, and immediately I was able to walk off the mat. And now I'm just out basically for like 2 to 4 months, which is a bummer, but gotta roll with it.
Yeah, at least you get to bulk. Get a little bulking going. Hey, so this is gonna be our last thing. We're gonna say goodbye, but I did want to ask you to let us know. I mean, I know you got a fitness thing going on, Jeremy Jackson Fitness. What's going on with that?
Yeah, well, because of my injury, I have the opportunity to really focus on Jeremy Jackson Fitness, and so I'm taking it as a blessing in disguise, my injury. And my website is jeremyjacksonfitness.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/Jeremy Jackson Fitness. My Instagram is @JeremyJacksonFitness. And we're writing ebooks, doing YouTube videos. YouTube is, YouTube/Jeremy Jackson Fitness. And we're releasing a lot of free content. We're doing contests to give away a month of free personal training. We're really trying to affect people's lives positively in the health and fitness arena in 2014. That's the real focus here. So I think 2015, I'm going to try to be IBJJF blue, world's top ranked blue belt. My sparring partner did it last year, and I was going to do it this year, but I think I'm going to have to wait till 2015. But that's okay, because Jeremy Jackson Fitness gets some love, and it's been I've been putting that off.
That's awesome, and I think that'll wrap us up. I really appreciate you being here.
No problem, bro. My pleasure.
Stay tuned for just 1 second. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and expect more videos with us. And hopefully we'll have Jeremy Jackson on again. Thank you.